Have you ever taken leftovers from the fridge, quickly warmed them up in the microwave, and thought you were making a smart, healthy choice? It's something we've all done. But what if that simple habit could be silently working against your health, possibly raising your risk of cancer, digestive troubles, and even memory problems? In today's video, we're going to uncover 5 everyday foods that many people reheat without thinking, but experts now say should be handled with caution. These foods, while nutritious in their fresh form, can develop harmful compounds when reheated the wrong way. You might think you're doing the right thing by not wasting food, but the way we store and reheat leftovers can quietly impact our long-term well-being, especially as we get older and our bodies become more sensitive to toxins and inflammation. By watching until the end, you'll not only learn which foods to avoid reheating, but also discover the science behind why and what you can do instead to stay healthy and energized. Before we begin, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you find this content helpful, comment the number 1 below. If not, comment 0 so we can improve and support your needs better. Let's get started. Number 1. Reheating spinach releases harmful nitrates. Spinach is often seen as one of the healthiest foods you can put on your plate. Whether it's blended into smoothies, lightly sautéed into a stir-fry, or tossed fresh into a salad, this leafy green is packed with essential nutrients, rich in vitamins A, C, and K, and loaded with antioxidants and iron. Spinach is a regular star in meals for those who care about heart health, blood pressure, and energy. But here's something many people don't realize. The way you prepare and reheat spinach can change its impact on your health, especially for older adults. One small kitchen habit, reheating spinach, may be doing more harm than good. The main issue lies in spinach's natural nitrate content. Nitrates in their original form are actually beneficial. They support healthy circulation and may help lower blood pressure. However, when spinach is cooked, stored for too long, and then reheated, especially at high temperatures, or in a microwave, those nitrates can transform. Scientific studies, including those published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, have shown that when spinach is reheated, nitrates can break down into nitrites, and those can convert into compounds known as nitrosamines. These substances have been studied for their connection to increased cancer risk, especially in the digestive system. The World Health Organization and National Cancer Institute have flagged nitrosamines as potential carcinogens that may affect the stomach and colon. What makes this issue more concerning is how invisible it is. Nitrosamines don't change the look, smell, or taste of your food. You might eat a reheated spinach dish and feel fine, never knowing what your body is quietly absorbing. For older adults, the risk is higher. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at clearing out harmful compounds. Our digestive systems slow down, or liver detoxifies more slowly, and our cells don't repair as quickly. What may have been a minor issue at 30 can become a more serious threat at 70. Let's take a common example. You prepare a big pot of vegetable soup filled with fresh spinach on Sunday, planning to enjoy it throughout the week. On Tuesday, you reheat a portion in the microwave for lunch. The soup still tastes good, but the spinach inside may have already undergone that chemical transformation. Over time, with repeated exposure to nitrosamines, there's a potential for long-term health effects, especially on the brain, where inflammation is linked to memory problems and cognitive decline. So what can you do? You don't have to give up spinach. It's still one of the most nutritious foods available, but preparation matters. When possible, eat spinach fresh or lightly cooked. If you've already added spinach to a dish, enjoy the leftovers cold, like in a chilled soup or salad. If you do need to reheat, use gentle heat on the stove instead of the microwave and avoid reheating more than once. Also, don't leave spinach-containing dishes out for long. Cool and refrigerate them quickly. and eat them within a day or two. These small changes may seem simple, but they can protect your body from hidden risks and help you stay mentally and physically strong. If you're still with me and learning something valuable from this, please comment the number 1 below. It helps me know you're watching and that you care about your long-term health. Let's keep going. Number 2, reheated potatoes can quietly disrupt your health. Potatoes are a staple in many homes, loved for their comfort, affordability, and endless ways to cook them, whether mashed with a touch of butter, roasted until crispy, or used in stews and soups. They're a regular part of the menu for good reason. But while potatoes can be a nutritious part of a balanced meal, there's a surprising health risk hiding in how we handle leftovers. The concern starts when potatoes are cooked, allowed to cool, stored for later, and then reheated. This process, which seems harmless, can lead to subtle but serious changes in their structure and safety, especially if they're reheated using high temperatures or kept in the wrong conditions. When first cooked, the starch in potatoes becomes soft and easily digestible. But as the potatoes cool down, especially if left out at room temperature or stored too long in the fridge, the starches go through a process called retrogradation. They turn into resistant starch, which in small amounts is good for gut health. But that's not the whole story. The bigger issue is bacteria. If cooked potatoes are stored incorrectly, particularly when wrapped in foil and cooled slowly without refrigeration, they can create an ideal environment for a dangerous bacterium known as Clostridium botulinum. This bacterium thrives in low oxygen, starchy environments, and can produce a toxin that doesn't affect the look, smell, or taste of your food. Yet it can cause serious illness, including nausea, dizziness, and in rare cases, nerve damage. Older adults are especially vulnerable. As we age, the immune system becomes less responsive, and the digestive system slows down. That means your body is not as equipped to fight off foodborne toxins or repair damage caused by low-level exposure over time. Even more concerning is the link between gut health and brain function. Medical research now shows how inflammation in the gut, often caused by toxins or harmful bacteria, can influence the brain. This so-called gut-brain axis is a key reason why long-term exposure to low doses of foodborne toxins may play a role in memory loss or cognitive issues later in life. Picture this: you cook a tray of potatoes for dinner, wrap the leftovers in foil, and store them in the fridge. A few days later, you microwave them for a quick side dish. You may not realize it, but this routine could be introducing low levels of bacterial toxins into your body, tiny exposures that add up over months or years. So, what's the solution? It's actually simple. First, try to cook only what you plan to eat fresh. If you need to store leftovers, let them cool quickly and place them in airtight containers, not foil. Reheat using a stovetop or oven to ensure even heating, and avoid reheating more than once. If leftovers have been sitting too long or show any signs of spoilage, it's best to discard them, handled the right way. Potatoes remain a nourishing, satisfying part of your diet, but a few mindful steps in the kitchen can help protect both your body and your brain from risks you can't see. Number 3, reheated eggs may release harmful compounds. Eggs are a breakfast favorite and a staple in many kitchens. They're affordable, packed with nutrition, and incredibly versatile. From scrambled eggs in the morning to hard-boiled snacks and additions to salads or casseroles, eggs are valued for their high-quality protein and essential nutrients, especially choline, which supports brain health. But there's something important to know. Reheating eggs, especially using high heat or microwaves, can quietly change their structure and impact your health over time. This common habit may seem harmless, but science reveals some hidden risks. When eggs are first cooked, their proteins go through a natural transformation called denaturation. This makes them easier to digest, but if those same eggs are reheated later, especially with strong or uneven heat, their structure can be altered further in ways that aren't so friendly to your body. Two major problems can occur. First, sulfur compounds in eggs can break down during reheating, creating an unpleasant smell and rubbery texture. More concerning, though, is what happens to the cholesterol found in the yolk. When reheated, it can oxidize into substances known as oxysterols. These compounds have been linked to inflammation in the body and may increase the risk of heart disease. And that's not all. Chronic inflammation, especially when triggered by diet, has been associated with cognitive problems, memory loss, and neurological decline. Studies have shown that older adults are more vulnerable to these effects as their bodies become less efficient at processing fats and repairing cellular damage. Imagine this scenario: you boil several eggs on Sunday to save time during the week. On Wednesday, you pop one in the microwave to warm it up. It may taste fine, but that reheating process might be changing the egg's nutrients in ways that are invisible but impactful. If this becomes a weekly habit, your body could be exposed to small but steady levels of inflammatory compounds over time. The good news is that avoiding these risks doesn't mean you have to give up eggs. Instead, try eating them fresh after cooking. If you've prepared a batch in advance, enjoy them cold, sliced into salads, tucked into sandwiches, or eaten as is. If warming them is necessary, use gentle heat on a stovetop and avoid reheating multiple times. Also, be sure to store cooked eggs properly. Place them in the refrigerator soon after cooking and consume them within a few days. If an egg smells off or looks strange, it's best to throw it out. These simple habits can go a long way in preserving the nutritional value of eggs while keeping you safe. Eggs remain one of the most nutritious foods available, but how you handle them matters. By making small changes in your routine, you can support your heart, your brain, and your overall well-being. If you're still watching and learning something new, please comment the number 2 below. Your feedback helps me know you're here and finding value in this message. Let's keep going. Number 4, reheating chicken can trigger hidden inflammation. Chicken has long been praised as a healthy, lean source of protein. It's affordable, versatile, and easy to prepare in bulk. Many older adults cook a batch on Sunday to use throughout the week, whether for sandwiches, salads, or simple, reheated meals. It seems practical, right? But what if this common habit, reheating chicken, was silently making it harder for your body to function at its best? At first glance, it might seem harmless. You pop the chicken in the microwave, heat it up quickly, and go on with your meal. But beneath the surface, something significant happens when you reheat poultry, especially using high heat or uneven methods like microwaves. When chicken is cooked the first time, the proteins inside it are gently denatured. This process makes them easier to digest and unlocks the nutrients. However, when you reheat that same chicken, especially with strong heat, those proteins go through a second transformation. They become tougher, less flexible, and more difficult for your aging digestive system to break down. Now, for someone in their 20s, this may not be a big issue. But for older adults who may already experience reduced stomach acid and weaker enzyme production, this extra strain on digestion can make a noticeable difference. You may feel bloated after eating reheated chicken, or tired, or like your food is just sitting there. You might not realize it's the reheating that's quietly triggering this discomfort. But digestion is only part of the story. There's a deeper, more serious concern: inflammation. When chicken is exposed to high heat more than once, first during cooking, and then again during reheating, it can produce compounds called AGEs, or advanced glycation end products. These are toxic molecules formed when proteins and fats are altered by repeated heating. Studies have linked AGEs to chronic low-grade inflammation, which is a known risk factor for a wide range of age-related diseases. Inflammation isn't always visible. You may not feel a fever or swelling, But inside your body, this silent fire can damage blood vessels, interfere with memory, contribute to joint pain, and even accelerate conditions like heart disease, insulin resistance, and cognitive decline. Let's say you roast a whole chicken on Sunday. But Wednesday, you reheat the leftover breast in the microwave. It tastes a little rubbery. Maybe the texture is off, but you eat it anyway because it's fast. What you're not seeing is the stress this extra heating places on your digestive system and your immune response. Over time, these small insults can build up, especially if you're doing this multiple times a week. This is why nutritionists and longevity researchers now emphasize not just what you eat, but how it's prepared and reheated. Thankfully, there are gentle solutions. You don't have to stop eating chicken, but how you handle it after the first cook matters more than you might think. If you must reheat chicken, try doing it slowly and evenly. Use the stovetop with a lid on low heat, or a conventional oven set at a low temperature. These methods help prevent the formation of harmful compounds and keep the protein structure more stable. Even better, repurpose leftover chicken into cold meals. Add it to a salad, make a chicken wrap, or chop it into a bowl with vegetables and dressing. This way, you avoid reheating altogether, while still enjoying the convenience of leftovers. Another helpful tip: cook smaller batches. Instead of preparing 5 servings at once, try cooking enough for 2 days. This reduces the need to reheat repeatedly, and your meals will taste fresher too. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to how food is handled. A small change in cooking habits can lead to big improvements in how we feel each day. You might notice less bloating, more energy, and even sharper thinking just by being a little more mindful in the kitchen. This isn't about fear. It's about respecting your body and giving it what it needs to thrive, not just survive. So next time you have leftover chicken, pause before tossing it into the microwave. Ask yourself, is there a gentler way to reheat this, or can I enjoy it cold? Your future self may thank you for that small act of care. And now, if you've made it this far and you're finding this video helpful, please comment the number 3 below. That way, I know you're still here with me, still learning, still growing. Thank you for your time, and let's keep taking steps toward better health, one choice at a time. Number 5, mushrooms lose their balance when reheated. Mushrooms are celebrated for their earthy taste, satisfying bite, and wide-ranging health benefits. From button mushrooms in stir-fries to portobellos grilled as hearty mains, these fungi are packed with antioxidants, B vitamins, fiber, and compounds that support the immune system. They're also low in calories and high in nutrients, making them a favorite among those trying to eat clean and stay energized. But there's one thing most people don't realize: mushrooms are incredibly delicate when it comes to reheating. Unlike many vegetables, mushrooms contain a unique combination of proteins, enzymes, and sensitive fats that don't respond well to high heat or repeated warming. And when you reheat them the wrong way, those beneficial compounds can break down in ways that create discomfort or worse for your body. When mushrooms are cooked fresh, their complex nutrients are gently released, making them more digestible and bioavailable. But when you take leftover cooked mushrooms and expose them to high temperatures, especially in a microwave or hot frying pan, the proteins and fats begin to degrade further. This degradation can change how your body processes the food. For many older adults, this means bloating, digestionsuppset, or a heavy, tired feeling after a meal. That's because our digestive systems naturally slow down as we age. Enzyme production décline. Gut motility weakens. So even small changes in food quality can have a much larger impact. What felt like a minor annoyance in your younger years can become a recurring problem that steals your energy and mood. The trouble doesn't stop at digestion. Improperly stored and reheated mushrooms may also contribute to oxidative stress inside your body. When exposed to air, moisture, and fluctuating temperatures, the fats in mushrooms can oxidize, forming harmful byproducts. These compounds are linked to cellular inflammation, aging, and chronic diseases like heart problems and neurodegenerative disorders. Let's say you cook a delicious mushroom soup or pasta dish on Monday. You store the leftovers in a plastic container and reheat them on Wednesday in the microwave. The mushrooms now taste rubbery, have a slightly off smell, and the once rich flavor feels flat. These sensory changes are not just unpleasant, they're warning signs that chemical breakdowns have taken place. The nutrients you hope to nourish your body with may have transformed into substances that put extra pressure on your digestive and immune systems. This is especially important for anyone dealing with chronic illness, fatigue, or brain fog. Our bodies are constantly working to fight inflammation, protect against damage, and maintain balance. Every time we eat, we either help that process or add to the burden. Eating reheated mushrooms, especially repeatedly, may unknowingly make things harder on your system. Fortunately, you don't have to avoid mushrooms altogether. In fact, they're still one of the most health-boosting ingredients when handled properly. The key is in how you store and reuse them. If you've cooked mushrooms, let them cool quickly and store them in a sealed glass container in the fridge. Avoid leaving them uncovered or storing them in plastic with moisture trapped inside. When it's time to reheat, do so gently. Low heat on the stovetop is much better than microwaving. Better yet, skip reheating entirely. Add chilled mushrooms to a salad, a sandwich, or a cold pasta dish with a bit of olive oil, lemon juice, and herbs. They can be just as tasty and even more refreshing. And if possible, try cooking only what you plan to eat right away. That small habit can make a big difference over time. The lesson here is simple but powerful. Even healthy foods can lose their value or become harmful if we don't treat them with care. Being mindful about how we reheat and store ingredients like mushrooms is not just about flavor or convenience. It's about respecting your body, preventing unnecessary strain, and making each meal a step toward vitality, not away from it. As we come to the end of this video, thank you for spending your time with us and exploring the hidden dangers of reheating everyday foods. It's easy to overlook how something as simple as reheating a meal can affect your health, but knowledge like this gives you the power to make better choices. Think back for a moment. Was there one food that surprised you the most? Maybe it was spinach, potatoes, eggs, or chicken. Whatever it was, we hope it helps you look at your kitchen habits with fresh eyes. We'd truly love to hear from you. What's one small change you plan to make after watching this video? Your experiences and ideas can support others on the same journey. If you found this helpful, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who could benefit. Your support helps us continue creating content that protects your health and honors the journey of aging well. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.